Welcome back, coin hunters. Before you spend that dirty 1988 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark, take a second look. That small 10-cent coin may look ordinary after years of circulation, but the 1988 P Roosevelt dime has some fascinating characteristics that collectors watch for, especially when it comes to condition, full bands details, varieties, and unusual mint errors. Now, let's be clear from the beginning, a normal dirty, circulated 1988 P dime is generally not worth thousands of dollars. But the same date can become much more desirable when it has exceptional preservation, a recognized error, or an unusually high certified grade. PCGS records a $750 auction result for a 1988 P Roosevelt dime, while its current guide shows dramatically higher values for the finest certified full bands examples. So, if you have one of these dimes sitting in an old jar, coin box, or pocket change collection, don't dismiss it too quickly. Today, we're going to uncover its history, unique features, rarity, collector demand, potential market value, and exactly what you should look for. The 1988 P Roosevelt dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of extremely high demand for circulating coins in the United States. According to PCGS, Philadelphia struck approximately 1,030,550,000 examples of the 1988 P Roosevelt dime, making it a very large mintage. The coin belongs to the Roosevelt Dime series that began in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The obverse carries Roosevelt's portrait, while the reverse features a torch surrounded by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The 1988 P dime is made of a copper nickel outer layer over a pure copper center, weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures about 17.9 millimeters, and has a reeded edge. The P beneath Roosevelt's portrait identifies Philadelphia as the mint of origin. One of the first things to check on a 1988 P Roosevelt dime is its overall design and physical characteristics. On the obverse, you should see Roosevelt facing left, with Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1988 surrounding his portrait. The small P mint mark appears near the lower right area of the portrait. On the reverse, the torch stands between an olive branch and an oak branch, with United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime completing the design. The reeded edge is another useful identification feature. Because this coin is copper nickel clad rather than silver, its normal metallic composition is different from the pre-1965 Roosevelt dimes. The most important condition feature collectors can examine is the horizontal bands across the torch on the reverse. When these bands are sharply separated and uninterrupted, the coin may qualify for the coveted full bands designation after professional grading. The 1988 P Roosevelt dime becomes much more interesting. With more than 1 billion coins produced, the normal circulated 1988 P dime is definitely not rare simply because it carries a P mint mark. However, rarity can appear at the highest levels of preservation. Many coins were released into everyday circulation, where they quickly collected scratches, contact marks, dirt, discoloration, and wear. Finding a coin from such a large mintage that survives in extraordinary condition with sharply defined details is considerably more difficult. The full bands designation can make an important difference because collectors specifically seek Roosevelt dimes with complete and clearly separated bands on the torch. The 1988 P regular strike Roosevelt dime at values ranging from only a few dollars in lower mint state grades to approximately $260 for MS68, while the full bands version has substantially higher guide values, reaching around $1,650 at the top listed grade. These figures are guide values rather than guaranteed selling prices, and actual auction results can vary considerably. This demonstrates an important principle of coin collecting: a coin does not become valuable merely because it is old. Instead, rarity within a particular grade, exceptional preservation, strong eye appeal, and collector demand can create the premium the 1988 P Roosevelt dime be worth. If the coin is dirty and circulated, the realistic value is usually modest and often close to its 10-cent face value. Heavy circulation generally means the coin has lost the sharp surfaces and details that high-grade collectors want. Dirt, dark coloration, scratches, and normal wear do not automatically create rarity. In fact, attempting to make the coin look shiny by polishing or harsh cleaning can hurt its collector appeal. The situation changes if your coin is an unusually well-preserved example. PCGS's current price guide lists approximately $4 million at MS60, $6 million at MS63, $191,000.00 million around MS65, $286,000.00 million around MS66, $816,000 million around MS-67, and up to about $260 at MS-68 for the regular 1988 P issue. For full bands examples, the listed values rise substantially, reaching approximately $185 to $250 around MS-67 and up to $1,650 at MS-68. These numbers show why condition matters so much. There are also documented auction results that prove high-grade examples can attract serious interest. PCGS Coinfax records a $750 result for a 1988 P Roosevelt Dime, although that particular record is an unusual auction entry and should not be interpreted as the normal value of a circulated coin. PCGS also records an MS-68 example that sold for $202.50 at Great Collections in June 2019, while another MS-68 example sold for $12 million in October 2025. These real-world results are much more useful than internet listings that simply advertise unrealistic prices. If you discover a 1988 P Roosevelt Dime in dirty or circulated condition, your first move should be simple: do not clean it. Never polish the surface, scrape away dark spots, or use abrasive chemicals to make the coin shiny. Instead, hold it carefully by the edges and examine it under good lighting. Check the date, confirm the P mint mark, inspect Roosevelt's portrait, and carefully study the reverse. Pay special attention to the torch and the horizontal bands. If the bands appear unusually complete and sharply separated, the coin could deserve closer examination. You can also check the coin's weight with a precise digital scale. A normal 1988 P Roosevelt dime should weigh approximately 2.27 grams. A significant difference may justify additional investigation, but unusual weight by itself does not prove a mint error. Damage, contamination, or other factors can also affect measurements. If you notice a major off-center strike, missing design element, unusual planchet, dramatic doubling, or another characteristic that appears to have happened at the mint, professional authentication can be worthwhile. Most importantly, remember that an ordinary circulated 1988 P dime and a certified high-grade full bands example are two completely different markets. Don't compare your dirty pocket change coin with a top pop certified specimen and assume they have the same value. Research actual completed auction sales, study certified examples, and understand the grading standards before deciding that your coin is rare. The 1988 P Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how a common-looking American coin can become much more interesting when you examine condition and details carefully. More than 1 billion were produced, so an ordinary circulated example is not a rare treasure simply because it has a P mint mark. But high-grade specimens, especially coins with the coveted full bands designation, can command dramatically higher prices. Current PCGS data shows the potential difference between ordinary mint state examples and elite full bands pieces, while documented auction results demonstrate that exceptional examples have brought hundreds of dollars. So, the next time you find a dirty 1988 P Roosevelt dime, don't throw it away and don't clean it. Examine the date, mint mark, surfaces, torch bands, edge, and overall condition. If the coin appears unusually sharp or contains a possible mint-made error, set it aside for further research. Remember, the majority of these dimes are common, but the right combination of grade, full bands detail, rarity, and authenticity can turn a simple 10-cent coin into a fascinating collector piece. Keep checking your change, keep learning, and you might just discover that the smallest coins can sometimes tell the biggest stories. Thanks for watching.